What is up, team? God bless. It is Monday, marvelous Monday. Been going hard on this thing for maybe the past hour. Just prepping the area that we're gonna cut right there, roughly. Really just trying to get all the dirt and mud, grime, coat, whatever's left on here. See what the base metal looks like, see where we gotta cut, and I've narrowed it down to this area. I'm gonna try and keep as much, factory metal as there as possible and cut just what needs to go. Also clean this up just because it has some surface on it. And I'm gonna spray that with some self-etching primer. So I did a little bit of work last night, really just cleaning, and a little bit of grinding, kind of removing seam sealer, all that stuff, trying to get just more stuff going so I can figure out how I want to go about this. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can get this knocked out in a timely manner. But enough yapping, let's get to it. Some pretty thick metal. You're gonna want to have a little cutting wheel, cutting disc for your angle grinder. You can get these like at anywhere for not a lot. They usually come in a pack of multiple, maybe $5-8, depending on where you get them. I'd recommend some sort of respiratory thing, especially if you're gonna be cutting kind of rusty metal. But just metal in general, you want to have some sort of protection. Of course, you want some shades, gloves, ideal, and then some earplugs, of course. Earplugs are goated. If you don't know how angle grinders work, everyone doesn't sometimes. So there'll be a break on yours. It might not look exactly like this, but you'll press that button in, just grab it, spin it counterclockwise, and then you have two of these little metal discs or little lock things. So you have this one. Both of them are different, so you can't mess it up. Get that sunk in, situated good. Put your disc on. I like putting it yellow side facing towards you. And then get your other lock. Make sure it's centered. Get your other lock with the lip side facing up. You want this flat on your cutting wheel. Spin it till it's tight. Hold your lock again, and then tighten it clockwise. All right, so I'm extremely nervous. I don't really know why. It's just metal, but definitely kind of scared. I'm cutting my car, but screw it. God bless. All right, I'm gonna bring y'all in, see if we can start assessing the situation. All right, situation assessment. First, I want to say, I know I said you want to use some safety goggles, but if you have a welding hood, it's just way better. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get sparks to the face or whatever. But this is where we're at. I'll probably have to do this next cut from this angle because, or actually, shit, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to do it like this. Probably something like that. I won't be able to cut it, I don't think, all the way where I completely want it, unless I can find a bigger. This is an old cutting disc, so it's just a little smaller. If I can't find a bigger cutting disc, I'll probably just start sectioning it out. This metal is too thick for an air saw, so we're gonna have to use the cutting wheel for this to work. So this is where things kind of get tricky, especially when you have a wall right next to where you're trying to cut. Is really trying to get all of your corners cut, especially the corners that are next to the wall. So like right there, I can keep bringing this line down, but I only need to go so far. This line, I can't really keep going because it's gonna start cutting to the firewall like it did there. Luckily, that's just a very, very light graze. It's nothing deep, so that's no big deal. So I'm probably gonna come back from up top, cut into this wall, down into here, and then try and finish this gap right here. So then the only corner that'll be uncut is this one. So then I can just pop a pry bar in here and just manipulate it, move it around until it comes off. So I just went ahead and cut that off because I'm trying to just do this kind of quick. You can see now, you know, we can just super easy put a pry bar up in here, you know, play around with the angles, and literally it's only connected by right there, which is still kind of a good bit. It's gonna put up a little bit of a fight, but all you really got to do, make sure it's not hot, it's a little warm. All you got to do is just push it back and forth and just keep doing this, and eventually it'll just snap off. Alright, my voice might sound a little muffled. I'm wearing this mask right now because there's particles in the air or whatever. But if anyone is actually using these videos as a tutorial to do this on their own, Z or car or whatever, and you run into this circumstance where there's a band right here next to the firewall and you're not trying to cut it, cut this or whatever, you know, as much as you can without it hitting the firewall. And then, you know, you want to stand up, get different angles, get different viewing points of where your head is and where you're cutting. So for instance, it was really easy to cut this and see where the firewall is to make sure I'm not cutting the firewall. So now that we have that cut, we can just grab, you know, pry bar, pliers or whatever, and then move this piece around and do the same thing we do with this plate and just bend it back and forth and move it around until it pops off. It's definitely, okay, yeah, good. But yeah, just move it around, keep moving it, bam, and it just breaks. I've decided, instead of trying to pop this actual tab off, I'm just gonna take the cutting wheel and just take it literally level to it. And then I'm just gonna cut it like that, go as far as I can go. And then after that, if I need to, I'll just cut little slits. You know, sectioning is a very important method when you're doing stuff like this. You don't have to cut it all in one straight perfect line. You know, you can cut it however you need to cut it, whatever way to make it come out. All right, so I wiped everything down, used some 91% alcohol, should be fine. Vacuum, got all the dust up, maxed off the little bolt plates, coilover, whatever. Self etch, we'll do one coat of this on all the bare metal. Alright, so I had enough to do the areas I wanted to cover, so that's awesome. You know, it's doing its job, covering what I want to cover. You know, definitely, you know, this area still needs to be cut out. I'll do that sometime. Probably whenever I do this cut, I'll start. But with that being said, I'm gonna clean up this huge mess. Hopefully, be able to take a shower and go to bed before midnight. So appreciate y'all. Like always, God bless. Thank you so much.